Question everything. So, you got out there in New York and on the different, subways and stuff like that out there in New York, you got Aboriginal Niggros actually reporting the illegal immigrants to ISIS for selling unlicensed foods to them and stuff. And selling unlicensed food, period. You know? But this is just my point. How is it that if you and I, as Aboriginal Negroes, set up a table outside in our communities to be able to sell our jewelry that we make and the different things that we make legally in the sense of trying to help our people from good products and fashionable products, that we can't do it without a license? We got the colonizers jumping out their patrol vehicles, their slave patrol vehicles, jumping out on us all throughout our communities and making us pack up our tables because we can't, actually give out a license or show forth a license for selling jewelry or flags or anything that is legitimate through goods in our own communities. But yet you got the illegal immigrant who can come to the country and right off the rip come right out and sell goods on the street corner and have no problem with the police, the colonizers, in the sense of selling goods on the street corner without no license, without no peddling license, without no vendor license, without no food license to be able to sell food. But at the end of the day, you and I can't do that. How is it in this fashion that they can build an economic floor for themselves, but we can't? And how do that make you feel knowing that this is going on? Knowing that Martin Luther King spoke on this when he said that they was giving out land all throughout the West and Midwest to their European peasants as they came to America to get them a economic floor to be able to build off of, but at the same time telling me and you to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. Do y'all see the injustice here in America to keep us impoverished? Do you see how they maintaining our poverty as a whole through their system that was set up off the backs of us on our own land here as the Aboriginal Negroes of America? See, this is why we're not getting ahead. Because see, they helping to push ahead all other nations quietly, but at the same time crushing our nation, stopping our nation from being able to perform and benefit for ourselves in any way, and that's just the reality. Even right now, if you go outside in my community and try to do that same thing that they're doing right now in their community, I can jump in my car and drive to the Latino community, and you'll see them vendoring all over the place because it's hot today. But for us, we can't do that. We can't make side money. And I remember when, used to back in the day in the 80s and stuff, they used to have home candy stores where you can go to the house and knock on the door, and sometimes the doors would be opened up and it'd be candy all over the place, where you could just go in and get candy and buy candy right there in the community because you had different elders selling candy right out the door. Right out the door. At the same time, you had different houses that would sell, fried chicken and many other things and whole plates, collard greens and mac and cheese and all that stuff right out the door. They abolished all us doing all that. Made it illegal for us to do all that. Literally. If you don't got a license, you can't do it. Come kick your door and all sorts of stuff. Try to arrest your grandmother and everybody else. But this is what they're doing, allowing to go on for the illegal immigrants in general. Not to mention the different SSI funding and benefits that they have for illegal immigrants and immigrants coming in that me and you been trying to get forever as our people, but we can't get them because they're giving them to them. And y'all wondering why other communities is coming up faster than yours and better than yours, because they're crushing yours and holding yours back from resources and allowing them to do whatever they need to get their nation and their actual communities into an economic stability to have actual economic power over us. And this is what's happening. So in New York, you got the brothers and sisters pointing it out. Pointing it out. How you out here selling, you know, fruits and stuff and sliced fruit, and you don't got a license to sell it. But I can't come out and sell that same sliced fruit. Shoot, we got babies that try to come out and do lemonade stands, and you got Karens that come out and blast them for selling lemonade, and they're babies. But yet still we allowing for this to go on, for illegal immigrants to be able to do these things in our community without us being able to do it as well. You should be in an outrage because see, they want you to be selling illegal things like drugs and many other things. They want you to be doing this stuff. This is why they promote it on their radios and on their movies, and all the actors promoted in all the different movies that the pimps and the hoes and all that other bullshit. Because at the end of the day, this is what can keep us going through mass incarceration at each other necks and impoverished. Thus giving them the right to be able to push all their white supremacist slave patrol into our community and actually come down and mass incarcerate us, delete us when they feel like it. Remember, they're scared of their lives when they come to our communities. So if we move the wrong way, if we reaching for a wallet real fast, they got the right to delete us because they were scared for their life. But they're working in our communities as cops and so on. This is all a charade, man, all bullcrap, man. And y'all need to wake up and understand that, because that's what it is. That's what it is. Why? Because we got a history of it. So you got to call it for what it is. This is being done on purpose. And when we start accepting that it's being done on purpose, then we can actually deal with the fact that it's being done on purpose. This is just what it is. We can't sugarcoat it, nor do we supposed to look for a needle in a haystack. That's just it. You can't keep looking at an apple tree that got all rotten apples and then say to yourself, I just want to find one. Eventually, after you find 1, 2, 20, 100, 200, 300, 400 apples that are rotten, eventually it's like you got to just say, well, hey, fuck it, this tree is dead. This tree is dead. It's time to move on to a different tree. And see, we keep trying to act like we can find a needle in a haystack on who might be a good cop to us or might be a good, lawful, honorable law enforcer. And that's not no reality. No need to keep looking for any of that. We should be on the grounds of trying to police our own. That's it. Getting all the Caucasian cops, all the colonizers out of our community so that way we can police our own. Because that's what's really real. That's what's really real. Why? Because we don't oppress our own. It's hard to oppress who look like you. No doubt. Oh, yes, we got a few house brothers and sisters that gonna fall in that category, but it's not as many as what we got dealing with them colonizers coming to our community every day, getting the dopamine high and a adrenaline rush off of chasing down our babies and our men and doing the things that they've been doing to them. It's time for us to start accepting that this just ain't working out. Why? Because they showing it it's not built to keep us straight. It's not built to keep us safe. It's not built to uplift us and make sure that we be all right and move into the future in a positive manner as a people empowering themselves. It's the opposite of that. That's what they're there for, to keep us from empowering ourselves. If you don't believe me, if you don't think this is the truth, then go grab your friends up. Go get 25, 30 men right now. Negro men. Go get 25, 30 of them and then go stand on any street corner in America and see how fast y'all get a slave patrol police department cruiser to come through and check and see what y'all doing. Go anywhere. You can't even I'm not even for Black Lives Matter in the sense of how they robbed the people and took the money and did what they wanted to do with the money instead of help the community. But at the same time, go stand somewhere and promote that. And watch how many people you get mad that are colonizers. This is the reality to it. This is the reality to it. You can't do anything that empowers you as an individual, as a collective, as a nation of Aboriginal Negroes in America without them attacking you openly. It's just what it is. They'll find a way to try to demonize, and if they can't find a way, they'll implement their own traitors to our nation into the organization so that way they can actually manipulate and destroy it from the inside. They do it all the time. How you know? We got a history of it. So with that, we big up New Yorkers for actually pointing out the fact that there's a lot of bias when it comes to who can sell products on the street without licenses and who can't and who need a license. Because at the end of the day, if They don't need a license to sell products on the street that